Beautiful place. Anybody ever? My parents got me that book, The Wump World. Did anybody ever read The Wump World? Same type of thing. It was like the Lorax, but these little capybara creatures that would just come out with tears in their eyes and all sorts of stuff, like the rumblings of. Okay, so to live here in the Keys, the highest elevation in the Keys. Anybody know where that is? I think it's actually a Winley Key, about 15 or around 15 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, you know, real low elevation, as we were talking about. So when people built roads down here, when they built foundations for houses, foundations for shopping centers, everything, this having the ability to put a layer or a foot of rock underneath your house or a foot of rock up on the roadways was the key to actually surviving down here. So if you look on Google Earth anywhere, there are giant, and I mean giant, quarries located in different pieces. No Name Key has a distinction of actually having two monstrosities like this. So not only is there one here on the south side, but there's one up on the north side too. So people literally, this thing is 50 to 60 feet deep and hundreds of yards long and hundreds of meters wide, filled with salt water now, because even though there's a layer of fresh water down there, they punch through so deep that they're actually down to where the salt water and the Key Largo limestone lets the salt water all come up, and then having so much fetch with the wind that things get stirred up so much that it's actually salt water. So we go over the edge, you guys will see things like that are indicative of saltwater habitats. There'll be needlefish in there, there'll be acetabularia and other type of little teacup algae and things like that. You look like you're looking in your canal because this is actually salt water. You will see as we get over there, some of the deeper mined rocks are actually, it'll be obvious, this is an old fossilized coral reef. So there'll be rocks on the top that are just plain and boring, parts of the oolite, and there'll be parts underneath that show you like, oh my gosh, that's like, it almost looks like brown sugar, some of it. So it's parts of the old, we were 30 feet under sea level 100,000 years ago, and we were a thriving coral reef. So this is what Key Largo limestone looks like. It's maybe 5 or 10 feet below the oolite, but once you get through that layer, then it allows the salt water to come up through. So if you guys want to see, that's what Key Largo limestone looks like, right there. But again, it's like, we all live down here. This is the dirty side of living down here that we don't usually see, but a reality of living in the Keys. And if you can imagine how much habitat for wildlife has been removed just in this one quarry, and magnify that over dozens of quarries in the Keys, it's really significant. And we'll go ahead around the edge. You guys can see the little sea creatures and stuff, and we'll get out from underneath. Nobody stand under these things. I didn't officially get permission.